Welcome, beautiful Paris Saint Germain family. The end is here for Gianluigi Donnarumma at Paris Saint Germain. We've known this for a couple of weeks as soon as the Lucas Chevalier report started and the contract extension news broke. But Gianluigi Donnarumma is basically officially from himself. Donnarumma didn't want to wait for anything. He wanted to announce himself because after yesterday, he was left out of the UEFA Super Cup squad to face off versus Spurs. Donnarumma felt it was enough and put this message out on Instagram. Breaking: Gianluigi Donnarumma releases a statement on Instagram announcing his imminent departure from the club. Grazie mille, Gigio. To the special Paris fans, from the first day I arrived, I gave everything on and off the pitch. Correct. To earn my place and defend the goal of Paris Saint Germain. Unfortunately, someone has decided that I can no longer be part of the group and contribute to the team's success. I'm disappointed and disheartened. Someone is obviously Luis Enrique. Luis Enrique is the man behind the decision of Gianluigi Donnarumma's departure. I hope to have the opportunity to look the fans at the Parc des Princes in the eyes one more time and saying goodbye as it should be done. If that doesn't happen, I want you to know that your support and affection mean the world to me, and I will never forget it. I will always carry with me the memory of all the emotions, the magical nights, and of you, who made me feel at home. To my teammates, my second family, thank you for every battle, every laugh, every moment we shared. You will always be my brothers. Playing for this club and living in this city has been an immense honor. Thank you, Paris. Gianluigi Donnarumma with a heartfelt message here with his departure from Paris Saint Germain. And I've never actually seen a farewell message like this where he basically just calls out Luis Enrique. But is also honest about it. But yeah, Gianluigi Donnarumma, the end at Paris Saint Germain has come. Luis Enrique and Nuno Mendes recently had a press conference ahead of the Paris Saint Germain Spurs game. And they were actually asked about this. They asked Nuno Mendes, Donnarumma is the coach choice. We work, we do what's needed to be done, and it's the coach who decides in the end. Luis Enrique, Donnarumma is one of the best goalkeepers in the world, no doubt. And even better as a person. But this is the life of high-level footballers. I'm 100% responsible for this difficult decision. If it were easy, anyone would do it. These decisions have to do with the profile of the goalkeeper that my team needs. And that's exactly the truth. Which I explained in my video, why is Donnarumma leaving Paris Saint Germain? This is a decision that Luis Enrique maybe made before the beginning of this season. And no matter what happened, even though Donnarumma decided to have one of the greatest UCL knockout seasons I've seen from a goalkeeper, Luis Enrique's decision was it stayed. It stayed, and you could call that stubbornness or whatever you want to call it, but that is Luis Enrique's decision. Donnarumma has to accept it, and everyone else has to accept it. And Gianluigi Donnarumma, farewell, because, your time at this club has been very special. Very special. Coming in, whilst we still had Keylor Navas, but coming off that Euro layer of the tournament, that penalty shootout versus England, everybody remembers it. He came in the same window as Messi, as Hakimi. But what was... what did people remember on the biggest stage? It was battling versus Madrid, battling versus Bayern. And then last season, just not good enough in the big moments when it really matters. But this season, Donnarumma, you decided to step up exactly when we needed you. You didn't have a good group stage. Your Ligue 1 was below your previous levels. But then, it was that Liverpool, the second leg. After your mistake versus Liverpool, that Harvey Elliott goal should not be going through your hands. But when you went to Anfield, something clicked up here in Gianluigi Donnarumma, and he said, enough. Let me become the best goalkeeper in the world. And that's exactly what Gianluigi Donnarumma did, with an absolute masterclass in the game and in the penalty shootout. Aston Villa come, second leg, PSG are battling it. Donnarumma was like, we don't do that here. And then Arsenal, important saves. And then a cheeky game versus Inter. And then at the Club World Cup as well, played 7 games, kept 5 clean sheets. Insane. You were one of the only players in that Chelsea game I was not embarrassed by. So it feels extremely weird that this great, consistent, big game performer is leaving Paris Saint Germain. That is the decision of Luis Enrique. Lucas Chevalier was available. And Luis Enrique, both him and Luis Campos have been monitoring his situation at Lille for a while. And I've always wanted a keeper who's more comfortable and more confident with the ball at his feet. And that's unfortunately not what Donna is. If I was the president, if I was the manager of Paris Saint Germain, and even if I shared similar tactics with Luis Enrique, there are two coins of this story. I can understand Luis Enrique, but yeah, it just looks bad. Hopefully the players take it well. There was actually, on Donnarumma's Instagram thingy, the players commented right here. Ousmane Dembele, thank you for everything. Number one, Desiree Doué, the best. Merci, Gigio. Achraf Hakimi, one of us. He was part of the group, man. We have a very new squad, and Donna has been here for 4 seasons, one of the longest. He has a great relationship with the club, with the Ultras. Has always talked about being a future captain at the club. And this is how it ends. And as you saw here, I hope to have the opportunity to look the fans at the Parc des Princes in the eyes one more time. Hopefully we get some kind of, departure. Probably similarly to the one with Marco Verratti and Blaise Matuidi, where he just can, go through this, the thing before the game and get a round of applause and so on. But, I mean, I don't know, man. I've accepted it. It's been like 3 weeks now, but it's still very hard to understand. Tomorrow, we'll watch Paris Saint Germain in a huge game versus Spurs, and it will not be Donnarumma between the kicks. It will not be Gianluigi Donnarumma. Gianluigi Donnarumma, man. What a player. What a legend. Yeah, legend. I'm going to say this. Obviously, a lot of it has to do with the success that we won the UCL and everything, but he's been here 4 years. He's been very good. Obviously, in some big moments, questionable and so on, but Gianluigi Donnarumma. Gianluigi Donnarumma. Look at him. We finally, we just waited for Donna to become Prime Donna, or Italy Donna as we like to call him. And when it happened, we just got rid of him like this. It's unfortunate. And I said it before, this is the second worst feeling I've had when a player has left the club after Thiago Silva. Both players should have absolutely not left. And now the thing with Donna is Chevalier. It's a planned departure. Thiago Silva, that was just a stupid. We didn't he wanted to extend. It was stupid from us not to extend him with no replacement. There was no planning. At least this Donnarumma departure, even though it hurts a lot, is heavily pre-planned. I mean, this was pre-planned before the season even began. But I can't put myself in Donnarumma's shoes. He must feel absolutely terrible and just absolutely terrible. Recent reports linking him with City, maybe Chelsea, maybe United. Most likely City. So City, potentially a Champions League competitor. We'll see Donna on the other side this time. Imagine him making saves against us. It will definitely be a biggish game when we do face the eventual team Donnarumma will join, man. But ended way too early. That's the best way to describe this Donnarumma thing. Ended way too early. It's never supposed to end, but we've given the keys to Luis Enrique, and he won us our first UCL. So, Lucho, do what you think is the best for the club. I would support it. I think the thing with Donna is the emotional attachments us PSG fans have to him, because I don't think the level between a Donna and Chevalier is that big. The only big thing I would say is that Donna has proved it in the big games and actually won a UCL with us. And you could say won us the UCL by his goalkeeping saves. So whilst we have not seen that from Lucas Chevalier, but the level between them is not that big. And yeah, Gianluigi Donnarumma. You came here, you conquered, and you left. As Julius Caesar said, Vini Vici Veci. Vini Vici Veci. Vini Vici. Veni Vidi Vici. I came, I saw, and I conquered. That's the end. Gianluigi Donnarumma, you've done great stuff for this club and you will continue to do great stuff in your career, both for club and for country. Us as Paris Saint Germain supporters, we're grateful for every single game you've represented this club. And we wish you all the best, Gianluigi Donnarumma. That's something for sure. Every single Paris Saint Germain supporter has great stuff to say about you, both as a person and as a player. That's been it from boy PSGINT. Hopefully, guys, have enjoyed this video. And as usual, allez Donnarumma.